All right. So Paul, tell me, what is the best offer that you give to people first time meeting them?
Which Paul?
You, Paul.
Oh, me. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All
There's
right.
two Paul. Oh my gosh. For the
Yeah,
first time.
there's two of us. It's a great name, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I have to say, I'm impressed that Paul wore a tie. That's impressive.
On a Friday.
This
On a
is my
Friday.
MO. I dress like this every day, so
And a
I
jacket
have to.
on a Friday. That's impressive.
I'm off
Thank you
camera,
very
but I'm
much, Paul.
shirtless.
Thank you.
So, I'm sorry. Could you rephrase the question?
So my question is, what is your best offer the best offer you give to people on first time meeting them?
I would say it's the offer to help, and we always come at potential engagement because we're essentially a consulting firm. We always come at a potential engagement from the standpoint of, if I can help you, even if it's not something we can do, if we can refer you to somebody that can help you. So I think, every person in business has some sort of a challenge, has a want list, a wish list, a need list. And if you can be helpful, I'm a big believer in karma, and I think that comes back to you.
Oh, that is awesome. Loved your answer, Paul. Okay, now you get to ask another person. So who's your pick?
Another person. Okay. I'm going to go to Chetty because he's to my right and he looks like a cool guy. So, Chetty, what is the reason? Well, tell us about a little bit about what you do and what motivates you to do it. Like, why do you like doing what you do?
Gotcha. So I do a myriad of things, but in essence, I'm a speaker, teacher, and a coach who
Okay.
really helps businesses, leaders, and owners who have gone through a significant negative event and are really trying to get on the other side of that, recover from that, and regain that trajectory they once had, so they're not suffering inside, so they can emerge on the other side. So I prefer to do that in speaking. That's where my passion is. But my heart, that's where the pleasure is part of me. But my passion is where the coaching is, where you can really work on someone's mindset and really get into that deeper work. So that's what I do in a nutshell. And what can I offer somebody? I'm gonna make you feel amazing if you get around me long enough. That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen.
Awesome. All right, Chetty, who's your pick?
How about it? My pick is going to be going clockwise. It's going to be Kamal. You are next. So Kamal, actually, the same question would be awesome because I didn't hear when you were talking earlier. So, what do you do, and what keeps you up at night? What keeps you excited about doing this?
No, that's a great question. I think my answer is similar to Paul. I do a myriad of things, but I really look to engage a person and see what they need, and then just look to help them. Because none of us here are a one size fits all, or we wouldn't be having this meeting, right? So it may not be something I can help them with, but I can refer them to you, Chetty, right? So that's one thing I love to do is just help people take the next step, whatever that particular step is for them. For me,
Awesome.
what keeps me up at night is I just want to build foundations and legacy for my family and those that are close to me. And so it's important to do things fundamentally the right way, so that when it's going well, it's going great. And then when we had those setbacks, like you talked about, we have a springboard for of ethics that we can stand on and continue in the right direction. So,
Wow. Kamal, that's awesome. Thank you. So who's your pick?
I'm gonna go for the second, but not what did they say? Last but not least, Paul too. Paul, you wear a tie every day because.
Yeah, that's a great question. And thank you very much for the intro. I think, and I'm just going to go on what Paul Fioravanti mentioned, just being of service. But as far as why I wear a tie, I'm what they call an impact investor manager, a steward of people's money at the end of the day, right? And so I think that, and plus my mom, she always used to like to dress my sister and I, and my dad always used, he used to like to dress. I'm originally from San Francisco, traveled a lot. And I think that this is the attire that no matter where you go in the world, people will at least stop and listen to you, right? Not to say you can't wear it, because believe me, on Saturdays, no tie. And and so, but I think when it comes to business, there's been, I want to just keep up how I grew up. And so, because I know a lot of times in this generation, everyone's comfortable, and I get that. But that doesn't mean I'm comfortable like this. So anyway, that's my answer.
Awesome, Paul. All right, Paul, you're next. Who's your pick?
I want to go with, Ash, because I know lovely Martha. Let's go with Ash. Ash, well, I can't see you, so let's see, I can't say, why do you wear this or that, but tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do? What are your aspirations? And what drew you to this awesome platform?
I'm very interested in other people's perspectives as my career evolves into helping more individuals as opposed to institutions. I find that interactions with individuals as yourselves helps me to broaden my my scope of thought when it comes to what I do, what drives me. One part of your question, which is money, finance. You mentioned investment management. So I grew up dirt poor. My parents were immigrants, but they were really smart people. They're highly educated. And I always kind of wondered why these really highly educated people weren't able to make money. And it drew me down this road. And maybe the most concise way I can put it is, I realized that the knowledge of monetizing your knowledge is different than having that knowledge. So that's what I ended up doing. I ended up going into working for, Fortune 500 banks and, exchanges where, I could see the mechanics of and understand how money is made. And yeah, that's kind of what drives me. The oil that, that keeps the gears turning around the world. Globally, as you mentioned with Atai, just money is sort of a universal, oil that drives the gears globally. And as far as what I wear, I'm kind of end up looking like probably more like, I guess this is kind of becoming more appropriate, but I was doing it back before it was cool. I end up looking more like Steve Jobs, just wearing like black or dark blue is probably my favorite color, t-shirts or long sleeve t-shirts and similar pants.
Wow, that's so
Fantastic.
cool.
Thank you very much, Ash.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Ash, you have Martha now to ask.
Yeah, let's see. So I'm new to this, as you all can see. Is it any question or just a specific scope of question?
Any questions?
Martha, I'm sorry, I'm driving, so I can't really see your last name or if there's any background about you there. What gets you up in the morning? What drives you?
Oh, you're on mute, Martha.
Hi, everyone.
Oh my God, the color of your hair.
Yeah, look,
Cool.
I'm doing the nails right now. Okay, so sorry, guys. I have to do everything at once. So what drives me? I can easily say my son, but I think I've always been self-driven. I'm a person with high goals, so I think myself, like, I have so many things I want to accomplish. So it's just the idea that I have to accomplish these things because I don't give myself excuses. I set this goal. I have to make it happen, whatever it is. So I guess my ambitious self.
Spoken like a true woman.
Yes, I love that. All right, Martha, you get to ask me a question now.
Marie, what are you looking forward for this gala on San Diego tomorrow? I'm so excited about it, by the way.
Looking forward to meeting you. Because you're flying all the way from Chicago to California. Wow. James is gonna be there too, James Watson, and there's gonna be over, I think about 230 people are already going there. They sold out the tickets. And my goal there as a VP of membership is I have to bring in, have to reach the goal of 100 members tomorrow. And there's going to be over 200 people. So we're going to be very aggressive about, getting people in as a member, because it is a good deal. It's a great organization to be a part of, especially if they're offering 50% discount on the membership, and you get to access 20 some chapters of the organizations all over United States. I mean, you can't beat that for $50 a year. So that's what I'm excited about. All right. Is that okay, Marta? Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. This is our first part. And did we miss anybody, or did we lose someone? No? I think we're okay, right? Okay. So the next part of our meeting is what we call the expert section. And I think this time I wanted to just bring up, let's see, what would be a good word to come up with? I would say creativity, okay? I'm just gonna use creativity. So I will go ahead and start with, who wants to start actually? Normally I would point somebody right away, but this time I'm going to be a little bit, flexible. Who wants to start with the word creativity? And you have a minute to talk about it. No? Okay, Shetty, go ahead.
So everyone knows we have 5 senses, 6 senses, but you also have sensibilities. You have faculties that are mental faculties. One of the, intuition, memory would be some of them, creativity. But one of them is imagination. And imagination is the genesis of so many things we want to do. As Martha said, she has some goals. Those goals came from her mind, from her imagination. She sees herself somewhere in the future. So now she is trying to align her physical body and her physical world, what she's already imagined in her mind, trying to align those two. That's the genesis of a goal. So that's where goals come from. You have a dream. I want to do that thing. I would like to do that thing in the future. And you now have to take those steps. Well, how do you get to that point? So creativity is one of those things that kind of creates or develops the world that you would like to see. And that comes from within.
Wow, love
So
it, Shetty. Kamal, you're next.
I'll mute myself there. So yeah, creativity. I just think about I have an acquaintance who says that a genius is common. And his premise with that is that everyone has a genius. For some people, it is the literal book smarts, but for others, it's something else that may not be as apparent. But the creativity is what God has given each, he put in each and every one of us to make sure that we, put our, we paint our picture on the world. So mine won't look like yours and yours won't look like somebody else's, but you have it deep within you, and you just need to every day look to express it. So.
All right, awesome. Okay, we're gonna go next to the first poll. Unmute.
Sorry about that. How about a riddle? Can I do a riddle?
Yes, go for it.
Okay. So there's a car accident and there are 2 people that are hurt, but they're going to be okay. But they get rolled into the emergency room and the doctor comes over and looks down at the 2 gurneys and says, "Oh my God, that's my son and his father. How's that possible?"
My son and his father.
That's really interesting. Could you repeat that?
So there's a car accident, 2 people get hurt, same ambulance brings them in. The attending physician in the ER comes up and looks down at the 2 gurneys and says, "Oh my God, that's my son and his father. How is that possible?"
He's dead?
That's my son and his father. The doctor is a woman?
Exactly. But 9 out of 10, we use that question in we're meeting with clients. We have a bunch of these riddles that we use. That's one of them. But the whole idea is that we all have biases, right? We see through a lens, and especially now with social media, like we expect things to sort of look and feel a certain way. But for most people, when you hear like doctor, right, you think of what you've seen your whole life, which is a male figure in maybe a lab coat or scrubs. But usually women get this. I'm surprised that Ash, congratulations. I think you're the first guy that ever got it. Usually a woman says, well, it's a woman, right? Like, why does it have to be his dad, right? Why does it have to be his father? But usually you'll get things like stepfather, whatever. And it's, again, the lenses that we see things through. But I think the role, and there's the point to this, the role of creativity is, I think it opens up your thinking, and it opens up your senses so that you see the world differently. And Kamal said that earlier, you just become, dialed into different frequencies, and that's a good thing. So in our work, we work with a lot of different kinds of companies in a lot of different situations. So I think wide and broad experience is good for managers and people running businesses. Like if you're doing one thing for like 30 years, who wants to do that, right? That's like a little kind of sliver of one thing. But when you have a lot of experience and a lot of creativity, it rounds you out as a person and as a manager.
Wow. Well, I totally missed that. I think the reason why is we're kind of like masculine and female here. I'm just kidding. All right, let's move on to Paul. Second.
I don't know if I could beat that or any of them that have come out, but the first thing that came to mind when you mentioned creativity, I thought of innovation. And I thought, a lot of times people innovate or create things because there's already something that's set, like Paul mentioned. If you just stick to one thing, but most innovators, they really think outside of that normal matrix, right? So I had to look it up too, and just to confirm it, an innovate or innovation the definition here is this. It says make changes in something established, especially by introducing new methods, ideas, or products. So one of the key companies that I think about when this is talked about is Apple. Like, Apple has been, an innovative company from the beginning. And since Ash mentioned Steve Jobs, and I'm from San Francisco, and I mean, it's just, I think people that are creative don't stick to one thought. They could care less about what everyone else is thinking. They want to do something for the masses, and that means thinking outside of the box. And so to me, creativity is being innovative.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Paul. That is awesome. Ash, you're next.
This is a tough one. Like Paul was saying, it's you all have answered so fruitfully. It's hard to. Maybe I can just add to it, or maybe I'll approach it from a creative. Maybe I'll approach it from a creative standpoint. The answer itself. I think we all have the. We have the same amount. I mean, it's all energy. I look at it. The world is energy. And I think that creativity is could be, it's one way to look at it. The way we put that energy together in our, I'm sorry, I don't have everyone's name in front of me because I'm driving, but one of the people who answered earlier, how we put that creativity together in a constructive form. And each of us will have different ways of doing that. So one person may express creativity as, artwork. One of my favorite artists is, Henri Matisse and Picasso. That's maybe a common way that we think of creativity. And Paul just mentioned, the second Paul just mentioned, creativity in a different capacity. I think it's, the energy that we have each of us and how we order that energy into things that we do and that we produce and that we give to others and that we that represent us. I know this sounds like a very nebulous answer, but I kind of just think of it as energy. The way we order that energy that we each have. When we wake up in the morning each day, and how we deliver that energy, how we put it together. That for me is creativity to the world, whether it's our loved ones or our clients or people on this call, and how we share that energy. To me, that's maybe like a prime sort of primitive essence of creativity.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ash. Okay, Martha, your turn.
So I think everyone is born with creativity. I mean, you just see these kids when they're little, they come up with all these crazy things. But I feel like in society, we feel forced to fit in a way of being. I mean, look at teenagers. They try to listen to the hip hop and whatever not. So throughout your years, you lose that creativity. And there's a few people that keep that because they know who they are, they understand their identity, and they forget. They kind of set that noise away. Like, no, this is who I am. And when they do their work, they use that creativity. In a sense, I think it's also intelligence. You're intelligent enough to say, like, no, I'm not going to fit in that shoebox just because my friend is cool. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do what I think is good for me and just part of your identity. So I really think it's an intelligence to remove the noise and be your true self.
Wow, that is so awesome. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. I think, for me, creativity is really understanding that we are all here together right now, and you don't know what everybody's really doing business-wise, and you don't know if you're even going to be connecting. But if you really push the idea of creativity, you'll find a way to connect with each other and really collaborate and find some opportunities there. So that is what creativity is too for me, because a lot of people think that, this guy is only doing real estate and this guy is only doing insurance. I don't know if I can connect with them, but that's not true, because guess what? I have branded myself in the fashion industry and I'm not even a fashion designer. And I got invitation to go to Paris because they think I'm an expert in the fashion. I got invited to the Cine Fashion Film Awards. I'm not even in the fashion industry, but because of the way I was so creative in being in every type of industries. I'm in the healthcare industry. I'm in the fashion industry. I'm in the media industry. I'm in the, the real estate industry. Imagine how much connections I have because I am so creative in getting into all of those industries. So just think about that. Now, let's take 30 seconds. If you can put your comment on chat, anything that feedback or comment about this experience, this part of our meeting, and what do you think? Just, give us your comment on chat, and so people can read it too. And Ash, I know that you're driving, but what I can do for you is I can email you the chat save information, so you'll get the the feedback that they put into the chat. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Chetty. Yes. Yeah, we're definitely optimists. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Martha. Okay, so I think for the sake of Ash, I'm gonna go ahead and just read it because I don't want him to be left out on this. So Ash, Chetty said the format was quite thought-provoking, and for coming from Kamal, he said refreshing talking to a group of optimists. Paul said great answers to the word creativity. I enjoy hearing the different mindsets come together. And Martha She said, I love Fire Up Connect. This is the only platform in which business owners of different industries share deep thoughts. And from Paul, how do you pronounce that last name? Fioravanti?
Fioravanti.
Fioravanti. Oh my gosh. Okay. Very creative format. Love the rotating question idea. Great, great group. Okay, Ash, any words from you at all?
It's very refreshing to. I'm trying to think of the last time I was sitting together with people from different industries, talking, having a conversation like this, other than maybe friends, at dinner. So it is really refreshing to just have a conversation with others who are coming at this, this conversation from different angles, different spaces.
Thank you. Well, our goal is to really get to know people first before business, because you want to work with people that you trust and that you like, right? So regardless of what you do, it doesn't matter if your personality is not fitting my circle of connections. It's not gonna work. So anyway, the next part of our meeting is what we call business share. This is, you guys need to be very creative on this answer, okay? Because you get to share one of your success stories or a challenge that you want to let people know what you're dealing with, and you want some feedback, and they can give you feedback private on chat, or however they want to do that one-on-one after the meeting, or a specific goal. But make sure you give us a timeline of completion, because don't tell me that you're going to make $1 million and you don't know when it's going to be completed. Okay, so just give us more information on that. So who would like to start? And this is about a minute, because right now we are, what time are we in? 39. We have enough time. So a minute is a good time, but be very good in putting it all together. If you want to combine it, it's up to you, however you want it. So who wants to start? No? Okay, Paul, there you go.
I'm trying to be as modest as I can, but I know that each time that someone doesn't talk, the seconds go by and we miss all those good thoughts coming from everyone. Well, as you know, Marie and Martha, I'm an impact investor manager, and I'm promoting huge projects in the city of Rio Rancho, New Mexico, specifically focusing on the Civic Center Plaza. So yesterday I was on the phone. I had a meeting with the architect, excuse me, and we had an opening come up for the city that they want to meet with us. And there's a process, right? And so they meet every two Thursdays every month, every other Thursday. So our next appointment is the April 14th. So I was talking to my architect and I said, listen, this is what they want. I'm going to send you the application, look at all the criteria. And he says, Paul, oh my goodness, look, I can't do this. It's going to require me more time, because I want this project to be very, very nice, because this is going to be the prototype of the major parts of the Civic Center Plaza. So I think if I didn't have platforms like this, or I didn't have the experience, I would say, hey, listen, just do whatever it's going to take. But I thought to myself, I remember, when I talk to people that keep things going, they just accept that and say, okay, well, you're not going to finish it, but we're going to keep this appointment and we're going to talk to them and see, in this amount of time that they've given us. Of course, we can't come up with something so grand that they're going to want and say, yeah, this is awesome, but we could at least, give them some little tidbits that are going to get them very interested. So what I've learned in this tight time is that I try not to say, no, it's got to be like this. It's just every problem has a solution, and I want to keep smiles on people's faces, and let's just have fun. Someone said about when you're a kid or something like that. Oh, Martha, yeah, I remember that. It's just, you just want to be with your friends and have fun. And if roadblocks come up, we thought of solutions. It just kept the fun going.
Exactly. So. All right. Who's next? All right, Kamal.
Yeah, I'll go. The guys may hear some thunder, thunder in the background, but one of the things I'm noticing, just talking to different business owners, is the need for like the back of the house of their business, to have some structure. I don't know if that's something. It's probably something Paul Fioravanti has like a PhD in. But I'm just on a very grassroots level. Even with everything that's going on. Like there's so many niche markets now because of social media and different platforms. Like business has taken on a very, to use the buzzword, creative angles. People are making money in ways that didn't exist 10 years ago. But that being said, the fundamentals of business, the foundation are the same for each one. And so one of the things I said I wanted to do was connect with strategic partners. I was like, I'm not doing anything like ground up anymore, just on my own. I want to connect with strategic partners so that if someone needs help, I can be able to help them in a way that'll be beneficial to their business with excellence. And so that's something that I want to do, and I find myself kind of putting the legwork to have a company that does that as well. And that's so you said I had to put a time limit on it. So when is the next meeting?
Okay,
Okay.
that's good. At least you're understanding what we're aiming for.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on to Paul. First, Paul.
Yes. By the way, Kamal, happy to have a conversation with you or your clients offline, see if we can help. But just a point on that, I think, the challenge that businesses have now is, like you said, there's just so many places and the fragmentation of media and all the compliance issues that have kind of popped up on businesses too. So I would use the word fragmentation again. Businesses have this enormously fragmented administrative overhead that you get into, and you have all these things that you're responsible for, and it can sometimes take the eye off the basic blocking and tackling of taking care of customers, selling something, whatever your business is. So in terms of answering the question or the share on this, I guess during COVID, one of the big takeaways for me or for the people in my firm has been patience, right? And I think that if you work in business in America or in most parts of the world where people are driven and motivated, and most of us are some version of a type A, I think, there is a tendency. I remember this management consulting guy who was popular in the 80s, Tom Peters. He wrote this book called In Search of Excellence. Anyway, but one of the things that he had in there was this need for a bias for action. Like, let's just do something, right? Let's just keep moving. And I think if I've learned anything in COVID is that, and I go back to General Colin Powell's great 13 leadership lessons, and I think it's like number 2 or 3 near the top. He always used to say, it's going to look different tomorrow morning. So, and I think the way it's written is, it's not as bad as it seems. It'll look different tomorrow. And I would summarize it in terms of the art of what I call the art of the pause. Like sometimes the best thing you can do is nothing. And if you asked me that like 2 or 3 years ago, I wouldn't have said that. But to just act and make a mistake does more harm than just kind of waiting and collecting more information. And I think that's important.
Wow, that's awesome. All right, thank you, Paul. You're welcome. Did he freeze? Did you freeze? Are you there, Paul? I mean, are you done? You need to unmute.
I think I locked up there or something.
Okay, so that's why I was wondering if you were done.
Yeah.
Were you done?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go on to Ash.
Yes, ma'am. The The answers were very thought provoking thus far. My focus is a little diverted. Could you repeat the question for me, please?
So this is where you get to share one of the three things or a combination of it. A success story, a challenge, a specific challenge that you're dealing with that you wanted to share with people and get some recommendation or suggestions, or a specific goal with a timeline for completion.
Interesting. You know, building on some of what Kamal said and what Paul just mentioned, the firm that I work for, they were building. Forgive me if this offends anyone. We're building we just submitted for patent. It's patent pending, I guess, at this point. A cryptocurrency that holds value for individuals. And the idea is that we're coming together, as a perfect example, actually. We're coming together and we're sharing these ideas and we're sharing our thoughts. And just by the collaboration, the virtue of the collaboration, we're creating value for each other and possibly for others. And it kind of goes back to what I mentioned earlier in our call at the beginning, if I remember correctly, is, you know, just the monetization of knowledge and value. So we're each contributing our viewpoints. And just to be concise, because I understand there's a time limit, the item that we submitted for patent with the US Patent Office is to monetize that time for individuals. So someone can use it, let's see what I'm legally allowed to say. Someone can use it to give a quantity of money to their time and to their value, and use that to spend in perhaps potentially in the new digital economy, whether that's, you know, blockchain distributed ledger technology or, you know, central bank distributed, CBDCs, central bank distributed currencies. I'm probably getting it wrong, but so just in the new digital age, how we, instead of looking at the dollar or the yuan or the yen as a unit of value ascribed by a central bank and by society to each of us, and how we each have to hustle for that specific unit of currency, how we can each monetize the value of our time and our inputs and our different experiences and viewpoints, as we're doing on this call, into money that we can spend globally. So that's hasn't really achieved anything yet, other than just, I believe it's at patent pending stage. So really proud of that.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ash, for sharing. Martha, you're next.
Right, one success I'm so excited about. I don't know if you guys know Univision, like the biggest Spanish. So I went live today for 3 minutes to talk about my company. That's a big deal because I want to also
Congratulations.
I'm Latina, so I'll be happy to work with people who are Latinos like myself.
That is incredible,
Awesome.
Martha.
Congrats.
So I'm excited about that. And then I wanted to say something else. I think another success that Marie, in one of her comments on LinkedIn, really, I saw the value of my industry. We are going into a recession, or something good, not good, is happening into the economy. So a lot of businesses are gonna go out of business. And my company, because we look at solutions and creating business strategies based on numbers, I can actually be the pivot from those companies that might be in the future losing their business. If they were to hire me, I can be the person that changes that. That's crazy, because I have the power of looking into a business from the numbers perspective and diagnose the problem. And I have the creativity, because I have 10 years of business experience, to tell them, hey, we got to do this. And this is a creative solution that will get you out of the hole and what might happen in the future. It's amazing. I didn't even see that. That's the value of my work.
Awesome. Yes, Martha, definitely you are going to be a blessing to a lot of business owners, because, you know, they do need someone who can keep an eye on their numbers. So I appreciate that. Okay, I guess for me, I do have some real estate land development projects. I have a client that's also looking for a 2.5 million funding that he's been struggling and getting that money because he's a retired military veteran, but and he's got this 400 units project that he needs to take care of, and so he's looking for a land loan. So those are the things that I'm aiming for. I've been working on it for a year now with him. Actually, it's more than a year, but that's what I'm working on for him. And real estate land projects, I connect with a lot of investors. Paul is one of the people that I'm connecting investors to. He's got a large project, and I'm trying to help him get good investors for him. He's building the entire city of Rio Rancho. Imagine that burden that he's got there.
No, just a part of Civic Center Plaza, but it is a new area. Oh, but thanks, Marie. Appreciate
Yes.
it.
So I've got those specific things, but I do have several organizations that I'm involved. I am the director of Mission Valley chapter for Global Society for Female Entrepreneurs. And I just started the International Wealth Builders Association here in our city that this is our second month launching it, and we're doing it online and also in person. And I'm able to connect 4 cities all together in that association. So very, very happy to accomplish that. All right, so that is what our business share time. Now we have few more minutes, but I wanted to get feedback from each one of you and see if you found any kind of collaborations, connections, ideas, opportunities. And I will go ahead and start with Kamal this time. If you can give us your feedback, being our first time visitor.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me. Found this to be very, like I said in the beginning, it was refreshing, inspiring to talk to thought leaders from around the world. So just, everything I've heard and just listening to you guys, it's been very, very, very helpful. I know me and Paul F would definitely connect.
Yes.
But I love to hear more, from all of you. So yeah, it's been great. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you, Kamal. Okay, Paul. First Paul. I'm gonna have to learn how to pronounce your last name.
You can just say Paul F, Paul M.
Paul F. Okay.
I think this is great. It's, let's face it, we're all doing a lot of Zoom calls still, and not all of them are as, kind of nurturing and high energy. There's some of them where I need like electroshock therapy to stay awake or something, but you guys are an awesome group, and I'd like to learn more about all of you. And if there's a way that I can help you or help you help your clients, always happy to do that. So it's all about the networking, and it's all about paying it forward.
Yes, I love that. Chetty, your turn.
So one of my strengths is the ability to connect person A with person B to add value to someone else's life. So I would love to get to know each of you on a personal level, to know more about what you guys do. So if somebody's in need of that resource, that information, your strength zone, I can make that connection, because I think that synergy that we have not only expands our network, but it expands our power and authority and ability to solve problems in our particular spaces. I don't want to take up any more of your time, but stay amazing, guys. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you. All right, Ash.
Yeah, just to echo what Chetty was just saying, it's, the networking for me is what drew me in, just to be able to network with people with whom I have not networked before, and to hear new ideas. And you never know when opportunities will arise, and I'm really grateful for having been invited. Thank you.
You're welcome, Ash. Okay, let's go to our members. Paul.
I think every time I show up to these meetings, I really enjoy hearing people. And like Paul F mentioned, and you go to different Zoom meetings and it's pretty much the same, but where you get the best out of, say, a meeting is how you feel at the end of the meeting, that wants you to, keeps you coming back. So I hope that, any of these new potential members join up, because this is it. I've been a member now for how long, Marie? I think I've been, I think about 3-4 months at least. No,
and you've
longer, probably.
You only missed one meeting.
Yeah. And like you guys, I'm a busy man as well, but this is almost like therapy for me. I really enjoy hearing people's feedback. So anyway, that's what I like about it.
All right. And Martha?
I love Fire Up Connect, and I think these guys should join. I love their energy. I love how knowledgeable they are. I think this is one of the most knowledgeable groups that I've had that we've come across. Guys, there's different people that come here too. It's not just the same people. So this is really good place to get a perspective of high cognitive topics, and also opportunity for us to talk about our businesses and our challenges. And sometimes we have time to give each other feedback, but it's a great way to connect. And I've made a lot of connections. I know one of you mentioned I want to just know people and connect to them so then I can refer them and have more resources. This is the place.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I am very blessed by your attendance. I mean, the information that was given here, and I'm sure the members that missed it, they feel like they're definitely going to feel like they missed this meeting because it's an incredible information that you guys all shared. Anyway, go ahead, Paul. You were saying?
Yeah, just to add more emphasis to what you promote, Marie, I'm also a member of one of Marie's other platforms, Real Men of Real Estate. And I've had the opportunity to interview the mayor of Rio Rancho. I also have a real estate business in San Francisco. So I got to interview a colleague of mine there. But just last week, I met an attorney that was on this platform, and then I'm looking forward to having him as a special guest. What I'm saying, and I'm sure Martha would vouch for this too, because she's been on a couple of programs, her interviewing some of her connections. But this is just one platform. Marie, when she talks about that, she has other things. She really does. And I think that this is, you don't meet so many women like Marie. So good for you, Marie.
Thank you. Well, that's part of being creative and, really understanding how you can network and find opportunities. It's really about understanding each other's business and being creative and finding ways to collaborate. And I've always able to find some collaboration with any type of business. So you guys, I know Fire Up Connect is, if you look at it, it's just networking, but it's really not. It's just an intro to where we can get to know each other and then create the connections to all of our programs. Paul, I'm really interested in what you're talking about, because I do have a lot of people that I will always like to bring some resources. But anyway, make sure that you put your contact information on chat.
Which Paul? Is it Paul F that you're talking about?
The Paul F I'm talking about in terms of what he's offering. And then make sure you put your contact information on chat and save it. And then make sure that you do the follow-up one-on-one, because this is already a blessing to all of us to be able to connect to each other. And expect that if you become a member of Fire Up Connect, you're going to have more. I have one member from, I believe, Philadelphia, and he owns a compounding pharmacy. He ended up being interviewed in one of the radio shows that I have with an open spot. So he was so excited. He had like an hour segment, and I did that for Paul. And actually, I did it for Martha also. And Martha is a radio host for Fire Up Connect Business Networking radio talk show. And she is amazing. She is incredibly talented when it comes to, providing the services to people. Anyway, any questions, any announcement? This will be the last part. And I think, what time do we have right now? Do we still have, we overextended 2 minutes, but give you 1 more minute to ask any questions. No? All right. Well, again, thank you so much for your time. Ash, thank you. If you, text me and send me your email address, I can go ahead and send you the copy of the chat. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Weekend, you guys. And if you need to meet,
have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks, everyone. Have a nice weekend.
Message
Thank you, everyone, for sharing. It was awesome.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, take care. Thank you.
Stop being awesome, people. I think you're all super awesome.
You as well.
Hey, and Martha, the
Ciao.
hair color looks great, and congratulations again.
Oh, I'm gonna share it. I'll share it to you.
Yes, please. I would love that. All
Okay,
right,
All right.
everyone.
Bye,
Bye now.
bye.
everybody.